So she is one of the two people that are in the house right now for this live stream tonight. And I've already got 2 likes, which is awesome. Hold on, hope I don't sneeze because there's a lot of dust flying around. I've been going through my bookshelves. So I do have a lot of show and tell going on tonight for you guys. I'll talk about what outdoor books I have, fishing, hunting, um, recipe books, things like that, just for the fun of it. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about tonight is future plans for the DG Outdoors channel. Okay? For the DG Outdoors channel. Number one, I am softly switching over to a primarily fishing channel from a hunting and fishing channel. Guys, I've been hunting since 2006. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I enjoy the hunting part as much as I used to. Fishing's kind of new to me. I really started fishing hard back in 2019 when I caught my 5.5 pound bass, and then a little bit here and there, and then back like 2022, I fished a little bit. That bass replica is so cool. Thank you. Yeah, I tried to highlight it a little bit. But So yeah, 24, I really started doing lure reviews and everything. Hey Scott, hi Maccabee Speed. Maccabee Speed, a good friend of mine, an air gunner. He's had a YouTube channel forever. He says he fished sometimes. That's awesome. And my channel has had some air gun stuff in it too back in the day. But either way, I'm softly transitioning into more of a fishing channel because I just don't enjoy the hunting as much. And I've got lure reviews for days. I just bought my 2026 Indiana State Park Pass for $50. So that way, all throughout the year, I don't have to pay the $7 gate fee to get in. And I've got plans to go all over the state and do fishing content. I got my son his first BB gun for Christmas. That's awesome. Did you get him a Red Ryder? Thank you, Maccabee Speed. Yeah, dude, I'm at 3,205 subscribers now, I believe. And I appreciate the sticker and the super chat and everything like that, guys. So, yes, dude, Red Ryders are awesome. Yes, I did. That's pretty cool. So, I'm soft transitioning. I want to really get into fishing, learn about all different kinds of fishing techniques and things like that, how to rig things better, all that kind of stuff. But what I thought I'd do today is I've been organizing my bookshelf, okay? And I just want to go over all the different kinds of books that I have. And thank you, Allie. All the kinds of books that I have, starting from 2006 that I got my first couple of outdoor books for Christmas, and I've kept them 20 years later. I remember when you had 500 subs. Good direction going forward, sounds like. Thank you, sir, man. It's just, after you do something for a while. Hi, Franco. How are you? After you've done things for a while, it just kind of gets boring, kind of get old. I still want to hunt. I'm still trying to get my first turkey, things like that. It's just, I don't think I'm going to be filming it as much and putting it on the channel. I'm transitioning a lot of things over. So, we're going to be going through a lot of different books that I have, just outdoor books. You am looking for a job. Well, buddy, I will pray for you. I hope you find a job. And I hope everything works out for you, man. So, starting in 2006, Christmas of 2006, my parents got me this book, and it'll kind of transition into some things that my uncle gave me to learn how to do taxidermy here in a little bit, like that fish up there. The Complete Guide to Small Game Taxidermy. I've read this book through and through. That's how I learned how to do, how to make the pelts that I made on the wall with the first groundhog I got. or the second chipmunk pelt that I have on the wall. Afternoon, buddy. Just do you and enjoy life. Thanks, Eric. Eric is a retired rambler who loves to shoot recurve bows and compound bows, and that gets so. This book right here, look, and it says Christmas 2006 in my mother's handwriting. So Allie G's grandpa was a taxidermist, which is awesome. Allie, have you got any replicas done yet, or do you want to get any fish replicas done? Anything like that, or some big bass that you've caught? So Eric, I got a special book for you. Throughout the years, I bought books of things that interest me. Books on recurve bows, books on crossbows, books on taxidermy, books on fishing, big game cookbooks, things like that. One of the second books I actually got that Christmas was a field dressing and butchering guide for big game. It teaches you how to do. She catches some very nice looking fish. No, but I do, like a 7-pound one I got last year on the live bluegill. Yeah, that would be a really nice thing if you got some good pictures. Yeah, Allie, I'm going to check out your mystery box video and watch it after this. I saw it popped up as I was going on for the live stream. But my parents also in Christmas 2006 got me this butchering big game special recipe. It's from Monty Birch. 7 pounds is the big fish. But it goes through like how to quarter and what the different types of meat are and all kinds of stuff like that. And it's got really good diagrams on how to butcher big game. It goes through elk and pronghorn. It goes through field dressing, quartering, skinning, butchering basics, transporting the animal from the field, tools and equipment, freezing, smoking and drying and cooking. So books still have their place. I don't care how much YouTube you've got or videos. Books still have their place, right? As far as the taxidermy book goes, it teaches you how to properly skin the animals and all kinds of stuff like that. Basic animal anatomy and mount care. How to do that. And I'll show you guys. There's a piece of paper in here that, if I can find it right here, I did a project in high school on taxidermy. And this is from 2011. It's been in this book for that long. And it's just about mount care. How to clean the eyes off with Windex, things like that. Okay. Now, Eric, I had mentioned, so cool, you could eat most of the animals if you needed to. Yeah. That'd be a good book to have. And a lot of these books you guys can find probably super cheap on eBay. Like this right here. It's going to teach you how to skin a squirrel. You know, that's how I got real good at skinning squirrels. But those were really cool Christmas presents that my parents got me to start out with. And then there was a book called Strategies for Whitetails by Charles J. Alzheimer, I think is his name. And he worked for Deer and Deer Hunting magazine. And I believe he's passed away now. But, hi, Granny. We're going over books. You kind of inspired me. You've been reading children's books and the Laura Ingalls books and stuff. And knowledge is power. So this book right here is all about strategies for hunting whitetails. And I've read this thing cover to cover. It's like hunting the pre-rut. You know, it'll teach you about all different types of techniques. And the one thing I really, really like about this book is the fact that he was a wildlife photographer. Like, I guarantee you'd go to big game farms and stuff and take pictures of animals, like timing the rut, antlers, were they realistic? But he was also on seasons of Deer and Deer Hunting TV through the Outdoor Channel and things like that. Really cool book. Like, if you build it, they will come. Bragging memories. It talks just beautiful, beautiful pictures in this book. What is the biggest buck you've ever shot? I've only shot one doe. My 2023 doe. It took me 17 years to get my first deer. I worked my butt off for that first deer. But this book is kind of cool. It teaches you about better food plots, all that kind of stuff. So, now, I have the Fred Bear biography of an outdoorsman. And I absolutely love this book. It goes through Fred Bear's life. Fred Bear from Michigan. And basically one of the fathers, the pioneers of traditional archery. And Ted Nugent and all that kind of stuff. So it goes through his life about different hunts. And then for Christmas one year, May 98 got me the Fred Bear video collection from like the 1950s and 60s. It has all his old hunts where he hunted tigers and lions and bears, oh my, that kind of thing in here. And I really like just learning about Fred Bear and things like that. And I believe I got this on eBay, right? So that's pretty cool. If you guys know... 3 to 5 watching the hit like. Thank you, guys. I have this too. I read it several times. It's a really good book. Let's see, what year did this come out? Had to have been... What year? So this was originally $20, and I think I picked it up on eBay. So... Copyright 1988. Copyright 1988. So dedicated to all those who appreciate Earth's creatures and enjoy the great outdoors. And I think that works perfect for this live stream here. There was a book I wanted forever, and it's a hardback book, and now you can find it a lot cheaper, but I spent like $30 on this book on eBay back in maybe 2020, and now you can find it for $10 or $12. But as much as I love to squirrel hunt, and I know a lot about squirrel hunting, sometimes I like to kick back and read some books. So this is the ultimate guide to squirrel hunting. Everything you need to know to hunt this popular game animal by Bob Gooch. This is great. It goes through like hunting with dogs. Dog hunting for squirrels has got a lot popular. In the squirrel woods, it goes through different states like Missouri, things like that. Teaches you squirrel habitat, what to look for, different types of tree squirrels. Like if you want to track a squirrel, what to look for in the snow versus, tracks in the deep snow versus their front track and their hind track. I've never actually tracked a squirrel through their prints, but that's still pretty cool. Still hunting and stand hunting, whether you're going to sit or you're going to walk around. Shotguns, archery equipment. I've shot 2 squirrels with bow and arrows, and one of them's on video actually. It talks about like Indiana, like what the squirrel population's like in Indiana, and all that kind of stuff. Guns and ammunition, just things like that. What would a DG Outdoors live stream be without show and tell? Granted, I don't have to get up and enjoy your positive attitude, buddy. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the super chats, I guess is what these are right here. That's pretty cool. So, Ultimate Guide to Squirrel Hunting. If you guys want to learn how to squirrel hunt, I highly recommend pick up this book right here. Now, growing up, Mom and Dad owns 8 acres, and right next to them was an Amish family that used to live right next to my parents, and I remember them having church there in the garage. Now someone else lives there. It's been a few years. Like I was in high school, so you're talking 2009, 2010-ish area when they lived there. But on my side of the property line, the fence that divided our property, I'd sit on my side, and some of the Amish boys would come down and want to go turkey hunting with me, and so they sat on their side. We tried calling in turkeys, never did very good. But one of the things they gave me to read, and I've read this book back and forth, but I had to give the book back, and I bought it on eBay a couple years ago, was a book called Wild Turkey Hunting from the National Rifle Association. But this book came out. It's the NRA Hunter Skills Series. Excuse me, sorry. So what is this book from? It's from 1988. Okay, I can't believe that I remember this, but it goes through like finding gobbling turkeys on the roost and locating and patterning birds, and that's awesome. Are good books, and they got pictures. Oh yeah, fall foods like how to hunt fall turkeys and all kinds of stuff, where to find them in the snow, and just I think hard print is not as popular as it used to be, and everybody knows that. With YouTube and the internet and AI, you can go find anything, but I still like to have a good hard copy of a book, especially from the 80s. You know, here's the thing. Techniques, just like bass fishing, things like that, techniques change, technology changes, the animal doesn't change. How you fish or how you hunt that animal isn't going to change. So Granny says she loves a book, and Granny, you are a big reason why I'm doing this live stream right now. Books don't need Wi-Fi. Exactly. Like my Wi-Fi was out for a month, right? And luckily I have fishing DVDs and hunting DVDs that I could watch to get me through. But it actually shows like the Complete Turkey Hunter, all kinds of stuff like that. So this was a really cool book, and I like it. Books don't need Wi-Fi. Exactly, books don't need Wi-Fi. So, we have a couple flea markets around, and one day, get off of there, stink bug. Ew, there's a stink bug on this book here. Right? I have another turkey book. Now, I've had other books in the past, but I've got books you can hand down even if the computer world crashed. Exactly. I found this book for $5. The Wild Turkey Country. Well, okay, I take that back. $9. I thought it was $5. But this book has some really, really, really cool pictures. And I want to show you guys one picture if I can find it. Here. It's baby turkeys being hatched. It's got beautiful pictures. And this isn't really a hunting book. This is just books about the life of turkeys and poults and all kinds of stuff like that. I thought this book was neat. Here's some turkeys, you know, trying to fight each other off and things like that. Baby turkeys. Here is a... What is that? A jaguar? Is that a Florida jaguar? Right there, because I can see the palm leaves. That's probably a Florida jaguar in there, actually. It just talks about predators of the wild turkey. I mean, this thing's got some awesome pictures. Awesome pictures. Some turkeys up on a log there. I really love the pictures in this thing. Characteristics of a turkey's voice. It goes through all different kinds of calls and things. There's a turkey flying, right? Could be a Florida panther. That could be a Florida panther. I'll try to find a picture again. Oh, yeah. Here's some turkeys. It goes through turkey behavior. I just thought it was a really neat book. And I used to actually have a lot more books from like the North American Hunting Club, and I've since got rid of them. I had a turkey hunting book that I gave away to somebody with a bunch of turkey calls. I've had ones on black bears, things like that. looked like a jaguar. It might be a jaguar. The turkey that lives in Florida is called Scott. Probably is, man. You see, the thing about Florida is they have a subspecies of turkey called the Ocellata turkey. Either way, they're only native to Florida. You can't find them anywhere. And as far as turkey hunting goes, that's like part of the slam. So, but either way, back to the North American Hunting Club. And I've got 2 books left from them, Bow Hunting Essentials. And the thing I like about these is it's got some like old school, how to set up some old school compound bows, which the information is still good in here. It's just the technology has upgraded. Like this one's got like aluminum arrows and some old school books, because this book came out like the paper tuning process. People still paper tune all the time. So this book came out, and the North American Hunting Club, I don't even think sells these books anymore. You can find them all over. I just saw them talking about an outage in the news. Fishing. So those fish emojis, we're talking old school, Mike. We're talking overdraws and I dropped it. Traditional bows, which I actually have a recurve bow. I'm going to get back into shooting it eventually. The modern compound bow, things like that. Just some old school stuff. The one cam phenomenon. The old school solo camps. Probably one of the smoothest shooting bows ever. One of my dream bows to get is a Matthews Switchback. Right? We got turkeys. Mike sent over some gobbles. Fingers versus release aids. No one hardly uses fingers anymore. So that tells you how outdated this is. But when I started hunting, I shot fingers on my compound bows. So then we have, and I got this at Goodwill for $4.99, the top techniques of the Bass Pros. I actually did a video on this last year. This book is awesome. I'm going to be referring to this book a lot. It goes through, catching bass. You can see sight fishing. They've even got pro profiles, and it kind of talks about special techniques that. Hi, Lori, and everybody. Bass patterns, things like that. Lori, I'm just going over all the books on my shelf. I was cleaning off my shelf, and I got some show and tell stuff here. I haven't had to get up and get anything, by the way. I prepared for this live stream, people. I prepared for this time. But just going through a book, like it goes through all the different kinds of baits and lures that you would use to catch fish. If I can find that page, that'd be grateful. It teaches you how to fish certain structures, things like that. My back has been hurting bad today. Here we go. Soft plastics. Got some and some lizards. I am going to try to catch my first fish on a lizard this year. I just got all different techniques, things like that. Carolina rig, all that kind of stuff, man. It goes through. I showed you guys the largemouth bass in fisherman book I got from eBay a couple weeks ago, and to be honest, that book is I'm getting old and my back's starting to hurt. Number one, all right. Pause the book time. We got to talk about some real life issues, things here that I need to start taking better care of my health. Number one, I'm diabetic, so I'm uncontrolled, so I need to get back on metformin. I'm actually calling to get a primary care physician tomorrow. I had a scare at work. So Granny Southern Corner knows about this because I've talked to her personally, and I love Granny, and I consider her and her mother family. And by the way, those videos of your mom talking family traditions and family history and going back are awesome. I love listening to, elderly people talk about growing up and I mean, I work on a dementia unit, so a lot of that. I had a scare at work the other day. Taking my trash to the trash compactor, I used to sling it over my back. I felt something stab me. I get to the trash compactor, I throw my trash can in the trash compactor. I go like this, and there's blood all over my hand. So, through workman's comp, I went and got a tetanus shot last Thursday. And then they did all this blood work, make sure I don't have hepatitis or AIDS. And I didn't have either one of those. But I went today and got the hepatitis B shot. And so in the 18th of February, I got to go back and get the second series of the hepatitis B shot. Not that I had anything, but because when they did this test, it showed that I didn't have any antibodies for it. So I've got to do that. Not to get too in detail with my personal health, but I've had my diabetes so long that it is starting to affect personal parts of my relationship with my fiance, and that's all I'm going to say on it. So I need to get back on diabetes medicine and all that kind of stuff and things like that. And another thing is, see, I'm telling you guys so y'all can hold me accountable for all this stuff. I need to. I don't need to be losing limbs. Another thing is I'm having some feet issues, not like holes, but I have really, really bad, and I know this is getting personal, but I'll get back to their stuff here. Really, really bad, like thick, nasty toenails, man. And I'm just being honest here. They're like the toenail fungus, and you can't really get rid of it. And my toenails are getting really hard to cut. It's getting bad. Like I've had to buy special toenails, so I need to go see a podiatrist too. So there's a lot of stuff coming up health-wise that I need to get figured out and going through and things like that and start taking care of myself. I'm 34 years old. My mother and my stepdad and everybody preaches to me all the time, and I work in a nursing home, and I see the people that lose toes and arms and legs and on dialysis, and things like that, and I really don't want to go. That's part of the side effect of diabetes is the toenail situation. Yeah, and I just went last year, the year before, and got glasses, but you need a tart cherry juice. Lots of antioxidants. I will check that out. But I'm having a hard time reading small print. So that's one thing too, is like these are prescription, but I am having a vision changes happen with diabetes. Exactly. So I need to go back and here's my big reason of why I don't like needles. I don't like pain. I am super stubborn. Thank you, guys. I'm super stubborn. Like, my mom will talk about it, and I'll shut it down, and I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to do insulin. I'm type 2 diabetic. But I'll tell you, like, 3 years ago when I had my A1C checked, it was 19.1. Like, it was high. It was high. Totally reverse the type 2 diabetes with a diet change on the carnivore. Completely stay away from carbs. However, it's not a life. See, I'm bad. I love my Little Debbie cakes and pasta, and I know I'm not supposed to, but, I'm coming clean with you guys because I need to hold myself accountable for what I need to do, right? And I don't want to die at like 60 years old because of diabetes and health issues. But enough of that. I appreciate all the prayers, and you guys keep me accountable, things like that. Let's get back into the books. That was something I wanted to say, but I didn't want to deep dive into it. Green drinks will help too. Yeah, so my real dad's side of the family is all type 2 diabetic. And my mom and my stepdad are diabetic too. Mom's like, you want me to check you? See, yeah, like I just don't like, I don't like needles. I don't like pain. I don't like dealing with it. And I'm going to be honest, I can be a stubborn asshole. I'm just going to call it out and say the way it is. And somebody will bring it up and I'll shut them down like that because I don't want to face reality of the situation of what's going on. But it's getting to that point where the diabetes is starting to affect my intimacy relationship. Let's just call it the way it is. It is what it is. And it's not fair to her. Okay? It's not fair to her. She's, what are you, 27, 28?
I'm 27.
27. I knew it was one of those two.
I was gonna say, how old do you think I am?
Well, I knew you're 7 years younger than me. It's not fair to her having to deal with that kind of thing. You got this. Just make the first step towards getting better. Exactly. So, green drinks, you mean like Mountain Dew? You know, one thing I don't drink is regular pop. I can't stand the taste of it. Ever since I switched over to diet, I can't stand regular soda. You have to decide what you want in life and what you're willing to do, and completely your choice, not soda. Yeah, any kind. Like cold pressed fruits and veggies. Okay. So let's get back to the books. Now that we're talking about food, I've got 3 cookbooks. Okay? The first cookbook I got was from the North American Hunting Club. It says for new members only. My dad signed me up, and I've showed this book off before. This is the New Bounty Cookbook, full of wild game, like waterfowl recipes. And since we do a lot of cooking videos with wild game and things like that, like upland birds, squirrels, things like that. Just a really good cookbook, and I will never get rid of this because it is awesome. Like basil venison and things like that, right? Yeah, it's got like upland game, things like that. They also have super big gulp slushies. Oh boy. Y'all enjoy all that stuff, man. But yeah, Wild Bounty cookbooks. Stop it. It's okay. It's alright. He's just giving me a hard time. I get that. So, Wild Game Bounty cookbook I've had since I was like 15 years old. Still a really good cookbook. Another one I got because when I got my first deer, I was like, what if I get another one? I might want recipes on that. And I found this at Rule King. Hey, Hayden. Hey, buddy. Hayden hit 200 subscribers, everybody, on his YouTube channel. Hayden, I do want to mention one thing to you, and I didn't want to sound like a butthole in the comment sections of your stuff. I know you want to go live when you do your hunting videos. I wouldn't do that anymore. Because you showed the rifle or the gun that you used on your live stream. You have to be careful. I know it's just resting up against the tree stand, but YouTube will shut you down faster than anything. That's why I can't show any bow and arrows, any air guns, any crossbows on your live streams. Now, if you want to film your hunt and then post it as a regular YouTube video, that's fine. Which live stream? You just did one where you were hunting the last time and you went live, and your gun was rested up against the of your 2-person ladder stand you were in or something. Hey Pearlman, what's up? Pearlman showed his flintlock. He may be able to. That's not considered a firearm by the government, but I'm not sure because I just don't want people getting shut down on a live stream for showing firearms, and I'm just looking out for my friends. You know. That was with my bow. Oh, okay. Well, that may be different. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a YouTube rule. But anyways, venison, the complete guide to hunting, field dressing, butchering, and cooking deer. This is all venison recipes, and it is awesome. I like hardback books. Can you show them, just not handle them? No. My friend Brian from Our Ranch Airgun Fun Channel would just... he had a guest on his live stream showing airgun. They shut it down. Right. It says transporting. So if you have a gun in your car and you're driving and you're doing a live stream and they see that, they will shut it down. You can't handle it. You can't shoot it. You can't load it. You cannot show it on camera. So it's just one of those things. So this thing's pretty cool because it goes through like cooking. Look, they're cooking a whole deer on a spit, dude. That's cool. There are lots of people that show them on lives. I know, but I'm warning you. It's in the live stream YouTube handbook policy. I just don't want to see anybody get in trouble or have their channels terminated. It is what it is. Like, here's herb rolled venison with chanterelle mushrooms. So, it's odd how it makes a difference with live videos versus... If you guys hear my phone going off, it's work. Due to people can do a live... Well, they don't even want you, like, showing you loading a magazine on an actual YouTube video. Like, these are people out of California making these rules. You know? Oh, that's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. So, oh yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go check out Escaping the Suburbs. Blah, blah, blah. Go check out Escaping the Suburbs. Oh my God, I can't even talk. Go check out that guy down there that keeps cracking himself up. Scott from Escaping the Suburbs. He's got a live stream at 8 o'clock. And we have a great time over there. I don't know what he's got for trail news, but probably something cool. But yeah, this book is all about venison and all that kind of stuff. I do see folks doing things on lives that I think are I will have Tyler from Outdoor Tennessee as a guest. Oh, sweet. That's cool. Hey, my uncle used to have a YouTube channel called The Paint Man, and now he's building built a cabin that he lives in, and now I can't remember what the YouTube channel is called. That guy who keeps cracking himself up. Yeah, so, right, venison. I love it. Then, have you guys ever seen the show Meat Eater? You know what Meat Eater is? Meat Eater is from a man named Steven Rinella. And he hunts and cooks big, dinner time, got to go. Love you. Love you too. Hey, I'll see you on Scott's live stream if you're there, Granny. And tell Great Granny I said hi, and y'all enjoy your dinner. Love that show. Great book. I bought this. This teaches you how to cook everything from like bone marrow with cherry pickled raisins, right? Things I would never think of. How to make sausage, slow cooked and grilled venison ribs, and all kinds of wild games. Barbecue smoked beaver sandwiches. Okay? Or rabbit and squirrel and creamy mustard sauce. You never know what you're going to find in this book, and it's awesome. It goes through, how to fillet a salmon. It teaches you in explicit instructions on how to fillet a salmon and how to pick out all the bones, or filleting and trimming a catfish. Now, if I catch a catfish this year, y'all, we're going to be doing a cooking with DG and May video. I'm going to try to fillet my own catfish and actually eat one. Okay? And it goes through all different kinds of fish, like So scoring fish. I've seen people score fish when they put them over a fire, things like that. Gutting a trout. Like this book, like even so, all you Florida fishermen out there, right? Barracuda, Gulf Coast, saltwater fish, even breaks down saltwater stuff. Falang Mahamani. How do you say that? Falang Mahamani, right? It goes through that. All your saltwater fish. And then teaches you how to do fish chowder and all different kinds of stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. So, chiffon fish stew, reptiles and amphibians. It's going to go through turtles, frogs, snakes, and alligators. It'll teach you how to cook a freaking snake in here, man. Cook a snake. See? Cook a snake if you need to. I mean, it's just a really good book. A really good book. Prawns, which I guess prawns are really big. How to like scallops and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool. Manhattan clam chowder extras. Just a really neat book on how to do all different kinds of wild game. Venison, squirrels, deer, turkeys. Just all kinds of stuff. Things from the TV show. I've even watched a meat eater eat a coyote. They do this thing in the Amazon where they take the monkey or whatever, same thing for the coyote, and they burn the hair off of it. Okay? They put it over a spit, they burn the hair off of it, and then they do whatever they got to do to prepare it, and then they eat it. It's kind of neat. But I do have Meat Eater season 1 through 4 over there somewhere, and I watch it all the time. I really like that show. So, crossbows. I've shot a deer with my compound bow. I have a couple crossbows. So, YouTuber inspired. If any of you guys have ever heard of this guy, there's a lawyer out of Pennsylvania by the name of Rich Wilson. He has a YouTube channel called Death by Bungee. And I have both of his books from on the crossbow method, his journey with his crossbow and all kinds of things like that. Rich Wilson, right? And then there's the Death by Bungee crossbow method too, and it's all about crossbows. Like crossbow efficiency matters. The rule of 400. If you're shooting a crossbow that shoots 400 feet a second, you want at least a crossbow bolt that's at least 400 grains, right? So it gets good penetration on the target, good velocity, all that kind of stuff. And it just goes through all the kinds of stuff that he's learned. Hunt smarter, not harder. Experience, cure for nervousness. Things like that. What does this say? Okay, I'm going to read this. Death by Bungee Axiom. What he used to call a Death by Bungee Axiom is because he had a 2010 Excalibur Axiom crossbow. Okay, and one of the things it says, Death by Bungee Axiom, big bucks are like big bass. Okay, it says, if you ever caught a really nice bass under Pacific or by a particular rock, there's a reason that bass hold up there, and, says I got to turn the page, probably fought to exclude other fish too. It is his preferred habitat, and he wanted it all to himself. If you catch a bass and take him home, go back the following week, and it's pretty likely another fine bass has taken over the same spot. Bucks aren't much different. If you pull a nice buck out of a specific spot, it's likely another buck will fill its spot in short order, maybe even the same season, assuming the habitat doesn't change. This goes for most mature deer. They'll fight to claim their habitat. If you remove them, others will take its place. The lesser habitat is left for immature deer. It's no different from people, is it? There are good neighbors and there are bad ones. Yeah, exactly. So if you're shooting 425, 450 is good, right? Mine is a So, well, here's the thing too. So I have a Bear Catalyst 420 crossbow. It's shooting probably around 380 feet per second. Okay. They came with the 425 grain bolt. I'm shooting 410 grains because I went down to an 85 grain broadhead, the Muzzy 1, and it's shooting darts like that. So as long as the manufacturer tells me not to go over 300, go under 370 grains. The other thing is too, the heavier the bolt, the better it is on your crossbow limbs, so they don't split as bad. But yeah, so that's the crossbow thing. I've got 2 more books to go through here. This next one, right, is by a guy named Bill Vanis. 500 deer hunting tips and techniques. I got this at Tractor Supply, and it literally goes through 500. Actually, these aren't the last 2 books. What is in here? There was something in here I noticed. 500 tips and tricks, and there's a receipt, and something in here. But it goes through all different kinds of like hunting scrape lines and all that kind of stuff, things like that. Really cool. I'm going to end this live stream by going through a set of books that's going to have to do with that bass right there. Okay. I do have my little Southern Indiana fishing guide too, but I've already talked about that. 2023, my Uncle John of Premier Wildlife Taxidermy. Right here. This guy right here that did my largemouth bass replica. Here's a look at his number if you guys want to call him. Get an estimate on a largemouth bass. I will tell you that one up there would have cost me $525 to have done. Okay? But possibly if you give him a call and get an estimate, tell him you're a subscriber of mine, that you know me, he may be able to work you out a deal. He might. Possible cost of materials. I don't know all the details. You guys will have to work that out with him. I'm really not the middleman. I'm just helping promote the business. So here's his number again right there. It is 641-919-5012. Premier Wildlife Artistry, John Jones, the 2017 all-around best Iowa taxidermist. Okay. A couple years ago, and I forgot I had this, I got this kit in the mail, and it was around the time that I was doing all these pelts. My chipmunk pelt, my groundhog pelt that I did. And what this was the 2022-2023 McKinsey Taxidermy Supply catalog. And in here, it goes through all the different kinds of foam mannequins that they have, right? So you've got like the deer. Here's some bears, right? And bobcats and elk, like full-body elk, foxes, things like that. But then you run into things like this. And there's some cool posters in here I'll show. Fish replicas, right? I didn't choose that. I didn't know what the fish was going to look like until he sent me the thing and said, hey, this is what it looks like. But they got a mahi-mahi in here, a channel catfish, some smallmouth bass, rainbow trout. Here's the largemouth bass section. Okay, and it's just, this is an outdated catalog, but still really, really cool. I didn't get a pick. How much is a white tip? How mule deer? I'm not sure, Perlman. You're going to have to call and ask him and get an estimate from him. Didn't get a pick. Okay. Hang on. Let me know. when you get that. You're welcome, Allie. But they've got all the poses right here. All good. Thanks. Got all the poses for the bass. And so that was a pre-made blank, and they went through and they figured out how they wanted to do it. And I sent them the lure the day after I caught the fish. No, I mean in the mold in the book. How much is it? I don't know if it gives me... It might give me prices. Hang on. So for a, let's say for a largemouth bass, right? Okay, let's go. There's got to be another largemouth bass page because, so let's say a 14 inch long largemouth bass. Let's say 4 pounds, right? 13 inches, 4 pounds, 18.5 inches long. You're looking at $194 just for the thing there. All right, let's go back to mule deer. Oh my goodness! Anybody want to get an elephant mounted? That'd be cool. All right, mule deer. Just a quick. Quick idea. I don't know what all these numbers mean, like fuel swell, the neck size, all that kind of stuff. It's saying like $100 for it, but I could be wrong. But that doesn't include the actual taxidermy part and him having to ship it and all that kind of stuff. Like they've even got the ones for the. Now, granted, this was 3 years ago, so anything could have changed. So, they've even got the ones for like a bear rug. See that? With the bear. It's still pretty cool. But with these came these little posters. Like if you were going to do if you had a taxidermy shop, it'd come with like a little info poster. I talked about it, but here's some, here's a full-size poster. With all the deer on it. Do you have walleye in Indiana? Oh yeah, that's the cool thing about and he's got some really good artists that work underneath him, like the person that did that one. I found out that was actually one of my uncle's trainees did that. And he did a really good job. But because my uncle owns the business, I'm giving him the credit for it. I don't know the person's name, but if I ever meet him, he did a really, really good job on that fish. But what came with this, right? What came with this... Where is it? Where did it go? Okay. My uncle sent me, this is a whole starter kit to taxidermy. And there's a whole set of books on how to do taxidermy. He told me this is how he started when he learned how to do taxidermy back in the early 90s. Was a set just like this. And in here, and I've never done a review on any of this stuff and things like that. It's like the Introductory to Taxidermy and Deerfoot Projects. And it'll go through the exact process to make the foot gun rack. Right? I need to get one, a replica. Do you have really good pictures of your 7-pound bass? If not, I'm sure you could crop it out of some videos. Get as many angles as you can. If you know the length and the girth, you can literally call him, set it up, and he'll work on it. Now, exactly how fast he'll get it done, I'm not sure, especially with hunting season just ending. And I've heard some guys say 2 years. I got mine done in a few months. But I'm sure you can talk to him about pose. If you caught it on a specific lure, you can get his address and mail him the lure, just like I did there. That lure is actually really cool. That's a Googan Squad bumper in white and pink. And if you look at the skirt, if you hit it at a right hue, it's got a pinkish hue to it. But yeah, so, oh yeah, he caught it on a live bluegill. That's right. But maybe you have a bluegill lure from like Live Target or maybe something like that you could even send them and make it look like it's chasing a live bluegill through the water. It'd probably be more expensive, but they can do bluegill replicas too. And things like that make it look like it's chasing live bait, which would still be cool. So I want them swimming around. Yeah, that'd be cool. So the first one, which was booklet number 1, is the Introduction to Taxidermy and Deerfoot Projects. That would be so cool, wouldn't it? The book number 2 is Novelty Taxidermy. So it goes through novelty taxidermy like it looks like European mounts. It's going to teach you how to do European to get it ready for European mounts. Things like that. All different kinds of skull. Deer butts. Okay. Then you have skinning and tanning. This is going to teach you how to skin and tan and things like that if you want to sell your pelts and all. Are you going to do some taxidermy? I don't have the place to do all of it. I promised if Carissa or May98, my fiance, gets her first squirrel, I will skin it and make a pelt for the wall. I've done my 2 pelts up there. These are things he gave me when I started doing that, which is great. And I could learn, and there's taxidermy kits out there. At one point, I actually wanted to go to school for taxidermy, to the Iowa School of Taxidermy or whatever, and actually work under my uncle, but that means I would have had to move up there, and that was years ago and all that kind of stuff. But tanning and all that kind of stuff teaches you how to flesh and all that kind of stuff. Squirrel taxidermy. How to taxidermy squirrels specifically. All that kind of stuff there. My granddad had some cool pieces. Sometimes he would do family settings like a fox, and I remember squirrels. Yeah, so my cousin did my big fox squirrel up there, and I didn't really like the way it was done, because if I shoot another squirrel and wanted to get it mounted, I want a tree limb coming out of my wall like this, and the squirrel sitting on the tree limb eating a nut. Blue marlin and striper are really big. Yeah. Matter of fact, my buddy Jimmy from American Defender, he had a 60-pound catfish. And what he wanted to do was, he had the measurements, not really a picture, but he could tell you what it looks like. I said, dude, you should just get the head coming out of a hole chasing a piece of cut bait. Super simple, and it'd probably be a lot cheaper. So the next one is beginning bird taxidermy. Teaches you how to do all kinds of birds. Things like that. Like skinning a bird and how to do it. And mounting a flying bird. Just all kinds of neat stuff here. Number 7. Beginning deer taxidermy. It'll teach you how to do deer. That sounds like a great setting for a squirrel. Yeah, it is. How to do all kinds of deer head. And then last but not least, well, book 6. Beginning fish taxidermy. That is a lunker, dude. Look at that thing. I think that's a pre-spawn fat bass. Probably 10-pounder right there, dude. Birds seem like it'd be hard. So I know, like skinning a largemouth bass. If you were going to do so that fish is fat. So the reason replicas are so much better than a skin mount. You get your fish, you kill the fish, you skin the fish. they put it through some kind of process on the skin, and it takes all the pigment out. So then they have to go back and trace everything and airbrush it and paint it. And some taxidermists don't even do that. Okay? But if you're really, really good, you would. After 20, 30 years, it deteriorates and you have to get it fixed. It could break, whatever. So replicas, you let your fish go. The fish you take all the pictures in the world. And then a good thing about a replica is, let's say Allie G goes out and she catches a 11-pound largemouth bass. 25-inch, 11-pound largemouth bass. Let's just throw it out there, okay? Allie's kicking ass there, all right? Well, that fish could cost, $500, $600, $700 an amount. Who knows? If she has to pay for it. But what I'm saying is, like, she could be in a share lunkers program and turn the fish in and get it done for free. I am putting him back so I can catch him again. All right. Let's say she doesn't have that money saved up right away. She puts the 11-pound bass back. Okay. 6 to 8 months down the road, tax time, she gets a couple grand, whatever. Then she can afford to get the replica done. And so you could freeze your fish and get it done that way. But a replica is better because, A, you don't have to do it right away. You have all the pictures and stuff saved, and they base it off your picture. So, yeah. That's a good thing about a replica. Now, like I've said before, that wasn't my biggest bass behind me, but it's still a really nice fish. Here in Florida, you can catch an 8-pound fish and enter win the bass boats and all kinds of prizes. That's awesome. So they have a share lunkers program, kind of like they do in Texas. I am with you. Replica's better. They don't get as damaged as easily through the sun. Okay, the painting is on there forever. They clear coat it and everything like that. So Indiana probably does too, but I just haven't caught one that fast. So been on here an hour, gone through every book I have outdoor wise in this house, and I actually put some in the Goodwill pile over there. But guys, this has been fun. Another show and tell segment with DG Outdoors channel on the live stream. Y'all, in less than an hour, that guy that keeps cracking himself up, Scott, escaping the suburbs, blah, blah, blah. I can't say that tonight. I can't. I still got to put my poster up on the wall, too, and get something for it that explains that fish catch. But, y'all, it's been fun. And about ready to put all my books back on the shelf. So, y'all remember, like, comment, subscribe. Allie, can you please get a hold of me on Facebook? I'd like to do a Friends of DG video call with you and go live sometime, talk about bass fishing. Since you're friends with me on Facebook, can you get a hold of me? Maybe we can set that up for one Wednesday night. That would be greatly appreciated, please. So, yeah, y'all remember, like, comment, subscribe. Remember, Jesus loves you. Remember to push. Pray until something happens. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.